Hi folks, my name's Nat and I'm here with Nourish, Nova Scotia, and I am in Halifax, so-called Halifax, and I'm going to take you on my morning walk along the boardwalk. And the reason for that is upcoming on June 8th is World Oceans Day. And so what we're going to do together is we're going to pick up some trash or some recycling along the boardwalk. And then afterwards, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how that interacts with our food system, because we might not necessarily always make that association. So first steps first is we have to make sure that we are being safe when we are doing a pickup like this. So first thing, make sure you're wearing some SPF, some sunscreen. I've also got a pair of sunglasses here to protect my eyes. And then if you're in a place where you may not be able to keep 6 feet from other people and COVID restrictions are still in place, you may want to put on a face mask. I also have a variety of different bags here so that I can separate out what I find. I've also got a pair of gardening gloves and I have a pair of tongs just in case I pick up something that I don't necessarily want to touch with my hands. All right, let's go. You see what I see in there? That looks like a little piece of fishing equipment. See that bottle? And we've got a piece of foam under there that I'm gonna grab too. Be really careful if you find a mask. This one I'm actually gonna just take straight to a garbage can because I know that there is one close by. All right, folks, so it didn't take long for me to fill up my bags here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at what we found, and then we're going to try and separate it. I've got a Develop Nova Scotia Recycle Garbage Paper Organics bin. And so we're gonna go through some of our items here. We're gonna put them in the correct places, and yeah, we're gonna chat a little bit. Okay, so first, let's start with all the paper that we found. So the paper is going to go into paper. Pretty simple. Okay, next up we have our garbage. Now most of this ended up being things like drink cups, which you can't put into the paper recycling because they usually have a wax coating on the inside. Garbage going into garbage. So now we've got our bag of recyclables, some glass, some aluminum, but mostly plastic. Here we go, putting some aluminum into our recyclables. So one of the issues when it comes to recyclables is that, particularly when it comes to plastic, is most of the plastic that we try and recycle doesn't actually get recycled. It doesn't get reused. Globally, maybe around 10% of plastic actually ends up getting recycled and reused. So what you can try and do is you can try and reuse that plastic in a different way. So maybe you find a piece of fishing wire and you think, okay, well, I can use this instead of tying something together with a piece of string. Or maybe you find a really interesting piece of plastic like that bobber I found. Maybe you put it as part of an art project. So thinking about ways that you can reuse the plastic or any of the materials that you find in your walk, and that's gonna help it stay out of the waste stream. All right, so you might be wondering, what's the problem with plastics and what does that have to do with our food system? Well, see, plastics like this, they don't really break down. What they do is they go into tiny little pieces called microplastics. And what those can do is they can get into our beautiful water systems like our ocean here. And while that may not be, you may not think of that connection to our food systems, what happens is this goes into marine life. And obviously marine life is part of our food systems because many of us enjoy consuming marine life. But also what happens is our water systems are inherently connected to our food system as well. So when microplastics go into water, they also go into our soil, and then potentially into our food as well, and into us. And we're not really sure of the impacts, but we know that they're not very healthy for marine life, and they're probably not very healthy for humans either. So, what can you do about it? Well, of course, you can come out to your local nearby waterway and grab a bag or a few and do a little bit of collecting yourself. But while individual action is really important, it's also important to do systemic action. So that means big picture. So what you can try and do is maybe on June 8th, you can send an email to your local MP saying, oceans matter to me and I want my oceans to be clean. Or maybe you give them a call, or maybe you make a post on social media, anything to get the word out there to the people who are making decisions about what our oceans look like now and what they will look like in the future. This has been Nat from Nourish, Nova Scotia. Thanks again for joining me on my walk, my collection walk, and I hope you enjoy a fabulous World Oceans Day on June 8th. Bye for now.